this lesson, I'll talk to you about the script outline and treatment. The outline is that, a staircase, where you place each action line of each scene as they appear chronologically in the script, ensuring a clear and organized structure. This outline allows us to take that material and efficiently arrange it for optimal storytelling and develop it into a full script, ensuring a comprehensive narrative. It's the first approach to the script in its entirety. As previously stated, I adhere to a chronological sequence based on the action lines of each scene. The outline typically ranges from a minimum of 5 to a maximum of 10 pages, occasionally reaching 7. Extending beyond this limit is uncommon, as it suggests an excessive volume of content not usually required, of scenes that are unfeasible for a project, as it implies an excessive number of scenes for a typical project, which is not usually necessary or feasible for traditional outlines. As I mentioned, the outline has two main elements. It specifies where the action takes place, what the location is, and whether it is day or night, with an emphasis on movement, characters, and action. I have two examples of real movies. The first real movie is a French film titled L'Appartement, accompanied by a detailed script outline that describes the primary actions of each event. An example from this outline might be interior scene at the travel agency. This provides insight into the narrative structure and setting. Max arrives early at the airport, instructed to arrive 2 hours prior to his flight. As he waits, Max and Lisa almost bump into each other outside the exterior travel agency, but fail to notice one another. Inside, Lisa approaches the agency's counter. Meanwhile, Max catches a whiff of Lisa's perfume and stops momentarily in confusion. This makes him change his mind, so he decides to pick up the keys that are between the cracks. He spends quite a while trying until he finally gets them. Inside the travel agency, Lisa learns she can't change her ticket as it needed to be done 48 hours before departure. Each of these moments is an action line, capturing the essence of the narrative's structure. Even the dialogue, for example, Lisa being told she can't alter the ticket details. She merely emphasizes the critical aspect of that conversation's dialogue vector. For instance, there's a moment when a sudden burst of light appears. In this context, within the narrative's flashback scene, it's outlined like this. We adhere to the same criteria for building the outline, focusing on dramatic action lines and actions. Lisa calls Alice, letting her know she's in Paris. She informs Alice that they will meet at the La Pergola restaurant. Exterior La Pergola restaurant. Alice bids farewell to Lucien. Interior La Pergola restaurant. Alice sees Max in a mirror, runs out of the restaurant, and bumps into Muriel at the door. The script can be streamlined further by omitting scene headers and descriptors, focusing solely on action. Time and locations are included in the action line, as shown in this Thelma and Louise outline example. This method helps streamline the script by focusing on action. Mario and Thelma leave, trip, get annoyed, and shout. Thelma calls Louise. They agree to meet. Louise picks up Thelma, loads many suitcases. On the way, Thelma admits she didn't tell her husband. They laugh in complicity. Thelma asks to stash the gun. It's that simple. The scene is so brief because it serves as a guide for the screenwriter to develop the story further and gain a clearer picture of the entire script. Indeed, this is a point made by a screenwriter who aims to ensure the narrative flows smoothly throughout the film. The development process requires an outline rather than numbered steps. As you progress through it, you may discover moments where inserting additional elements between existing parts becomes necessary. Scene headers and numbering are used in outlines intended for commercial demos. This helps maintain clarity and structure for the screenwriter's process, or shared with a third party. Typically, the outline serves as a personal tool for the screenwriter's assessment and creative process. I want to show you how I'm developing an outline in the script folder. I open my script folder, navigate to my story's outline, and zoom in to view it. Let's examine the outline closely. It's all about refining the details. I quickly want to show you how I added the scene header with interior, exterior, place, and time. I've done this for each scene I think the script should now include. It's a continuous process, refining and evolving the story's elements consistently. Where every day I'll keep evolving, not just the outline, but possibly the characters and criteria from the script folder. It's a continuous process of refining and adapting, prompting me to reconsider, switch locations, conditions, universes, characters, and implants. But for now, I'll focus on refining the current elements. This is the full outline I have, covering everything from start to finish. Exterior interior at Antonia Diaz's house. Miguel accompanies Antonia to a house where she claims a friend needs assistance, but it turns out to be a surprise party with Antonia's lifelong friends. Miguel is obliged to stay and operates the projector, observing Antonia's life story unfold on the screen. Interior at Miguel Diaz's apartment. On Saturday morning, Miguel wakes up to noises. He grabs something sturdy like a laptop, and in his underwear, he goes to see what's happening. He finds his mother, a real estate agent, showing the apartment to potential clients. Showing the apartment. Notice how I've made many corrections before reading this scene aloud, which helps catch mistakes and improve it. Because when you read it out loud, you spot errors, opportunities, and improvements. Reading scenes aloud before writing is wise. Miguel shares breakfast with his mother, revealing his father, a urologist, passed away a year ago. Their dialogue subtly informs us about the family dynamics and the impact of his father's absence. Miguel's mother constantly mentions that his father's patients still call her, and she often prescribes treatments by phone. After years listening to your father, I know exactly how to handle a urinary infection, she says. Inside, the Anxiety-Free Flying Center operates during the day, hosting its first simulation and disaster mock-up. Meanwhile, the interior lab faculty focuses on bacteria care. This illustrates how straightforward an action line can be, yet as developed as the previous one, offering another method to draft an outline effectively. However, this guides me, and I know exactly that when I go to Interior Angardia, everyone listens to a lesson and touches a plane, I'll know precisely what to write later. After establishing the outline, we proceed to the subsequent phase, creating the treatment document. Unlike all other argumentative formats, the treatment is what comes much closer to the world of literature. In the treatment, you can have emotional specifics, descriptions of an intimate universe, or even metaphors. It's a commercial tool where a producer can envision the whole film as if reading a book. It also aids the screenwriter in embedding emotions within the treatment's pages that were previously unexpressed. Additionally, you'll offer them the means to convey the movie's subjective universe effectively. In treatment, we have to provide the key points to convey the film's subjective universe effectively. In treatment, we will create a detailed outline featuring well-developed actions and reference dialogues, though not specifying the exact conversations. Instead, we'll determine their content, ensuring clarity in what needs to be conveyed through these interactions. Moreover, certain key elements contribute to making it an engaging read for the audience. The treatment can be with or without headers. Hopefully, it doesn't have them because its goal is to create a smooth reading experience. It doesn't have numbers for the same reason. Although without dialogues, it refers to the dialogues and their content written in third person with the possibility of subjective descriptions. The treatment can range from 20 to 40 pages. It may be straightforward or sequenced. A sequenced treatment involves organizing the content in a specific order, ensuring clarity and coherence throughout the narrative. Include a caption that explains the order in which we will arrange the scenes we are describing. In standard treatments, this helps maintain clarity and coherence in the narrative structure. It's much like a narrative in third person. Let's check both examples. Here's an example of a treatment to illustrate the process. I found an early draft on my computer. It was the initial version of a treatment I wrote for a film called The Water Memory. The Water Memory stands out for me as the initial draft of my treatment. Although it underwent significant changes subsequently, I recall this particular scene. At midday, Javier and Amanda join an enigmatic figure in traversing the landscape, culminating in a breathtaking vista of a serene lake. They stroll through the area, making plans as they move between the trees' shade and the bright sun. The sunset is both beautiful and calm, making the evening perfect. Javier and Amanda sip wine while reading, catching a glimpse of Raymond Carver's text. Amanda stands to refill her glass, adding to the serene atmosphere of their evening together. Amanda goes to the kitchen, Javier opens his laptop, puts it on the table, and plays music on his computer. A moment passes. Amanda returns crying. She says she's been very happy, but being with him hurts her because their happiness erases their son's humor. She claims the current happiness and her son's memory can't coexist. Amanda wants to return. She confesses that during the crash, she herself let the car go. It's a clumsy way to stay connected to her child because she misses him deeply and can't handle the void. Javier goes to hug her, but Amanda steps away and begins to cry. Javier observes her as she leaves the room. In the living room, Javier draws in his notebook, feeling quite sad, lights the stove and makes tea. Suddenly, Javier notices a light over the lake. He rushes to the window to see what's happening. Fireworks illuminate the sky, creating a stunning display over the water. It's a magical and beautiful moment. Excited, Javier hurries to find Amanda. Together, they dash to the window, captivated by the fireworks lighting up the lake, sharing this enchanting experience. Well, and it continues. And continuing, you all notice? It's quite rough, very much a draft. But it's the first time. Movies always have a first time, and a first line of writing is the beginning of something new, a fresh start in the world of cinema, which is later completely corrected. Of accents, goodbye, full of sensations. But it all begins anew now by adhering to the script format sequence: logline, storyline, synopsis, outline, and treatment. With the treatment, we then have the path ready to draft our script's initial version. To draft the initial version of our script, the treatment is the most comprehensive format in our script folder. Once the folder is complete, the next step is to proceed with writing the script. This structured approach ensures a smooth transition from concept to script. In the next lesson, I'll tell you the rules of the format for writing a script